All right, let's talk about something that hits close to home for, well, probably all of us. Can we be friends again? It's such a simple question, right? But it's also so personal, and it's something I think we've all had to ask ourselves at some point.
Seriously, think about it for a second. Have you ever had a friendship just fall apart? Maybe it was a slow fade, or maybe it was a huge blow-up. But looking back, was it over something that seems kind of silly now? You know, like a missed text, a dumb argument? It happens to everyone, and man, it can really hurt. So let's start with that feeling. A friendship lost. Losing that connection is just a uniquely painful thing. But what if I told you there's often one single thing to blame? One common culprit behind so many of these breakups.
Yeah, you heard that right. The thinking here is that it's not a million different reasons. Nope. So many of these friendship breakdowns can be traced back to just one single, really powerful force that just kind of creeps into the relationship.
Okay, so what is this great divider? It's pride. That's it. That's the villain of this whole story. Such a simple word, but wow, the damage it can do to our friendships is absolutely devastating.
So let's get on the same page about what we mean by pride here. It's that little voice in your head, you know the one that's screaming, "I am right, they are wrong, and I am not backing down." It's that thing inside us that just refuses to let something go, and maybe most importantly, refuses to admit when we're at fault.
And get this quote. It is so blunt. It doesn't say proud people have a hard time reconciling. It says they can never reconcile. That's a pretty big deal. Basically, pride is a total dead end if you're trying to fix a relationship. Okay, let's play this out. Picture this. A friend comes to you, they're being totally vulnerable, and they say, "Hey, what you did, it really hurt me." This is a huge moment, right? A real crossroads. So what does pride do in this situation? Oh, it has a playbook, and believe me, it is not a good one. And boom, there it is. That's the absolute poison of pride. Instead of hearing your friend's pain and wanting to help heal it, pride hears an attack. It takes their vulnerability and twists it, using it as a weapon against them. It's the ultimate defense mechanism, and it is a guaranteed way to just sever that connection. So if pride is the bad guy, who's the hero? Well, that brings us to the bridge back. Humility. If pride is what tears us apart, humility is what can bring us back together. I love this metaphor. It's just so perfect, right? Pride builds these giant, impossible walls between people. But humility? Humility builds a bridge. And let's be clear, this isn't about being weak or a doormat. It's about being strong enough to actually build that path back to each other. Okay, so how do we actually build this bridge? Well, it gets boiled down to two pretty simple steps. First, you've got the internal work. You got to have the courage to actually accept your part in it, to accept your fault. And second, there's the external part. You have to be open enough to welcome that friend back into your life. Which brings us to two paths, two outcomes. It really comes down to a choice, doesn't it? We're standing at a fork in the road, and each path leads to a completely different place for our friendships. Let's just lay it all out side by side. Over here on one side, you've got pride. What does it do? It rips great friendships apart. It turns pain into a weapon, and it slams the door on any chance of fixing things. Then, on the other side, you have humility. It does the exact opposite. It brings people back together, it's willing to say, "I was wrong," and it builds that bridge to harmony. I mean, the difference is night and day.
And that brings us right back to our original question. Can we be friends again? Looking at these two paths, I mean, the answer seems pretty clear, right? It all depends on which path we're willing to walk down.
And the great thing is, we're not just left with the problem. There's also a solution. A kind of prescription, really. A super direct, simple call to action for anyone who's looking to repair a friendship.
And here it is, the final piece of the puzzle. It's not just about being humble enough to say you're sorry. That's only half of it. It's also about being humble enough to accept a friend when they come back to you, to really let go of the grudge, open that door, and welcome them back with joy, not suspicion. That's when humility really comes full circle.
So as we wrap this up, I just want to leave you with this one thought to chew on. Think about your own life, your own friendships. Is there a bridge, maybe one you thought was burned for good, that you could start rebuilding?